graders, we are here with the very last writing video of this week, and you've already done all of the research in writing, and today we're just going to do our final draft after we edit and revise and make sure everything looks as good as it can, right? So do you want to start us off?
Sure. All right, you're going to notice this looks a little bit different for our final copy than it did the last couple weeks when we were doing our land and sea animal writing. And that is because we wanted it to feel a little bit more formal, like a piece that you are publishing and finishing. So it is a separate page in your packet. The very top line is going to be for the name of the famous person that you researched. So in our case, we would be writing Alexander Graham Bell on the line. And if it were me writing, I would try to use my smallest handwriting to fit it on that tiny little line. Where it says bye, that's for your name. You are the author of this piece of writing, so you may write your name here.
First and last. Not just, authors use both names, not just their first name. So write your first and last.
We would have no idea who it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Which Lucas are you? Which Dylan are you? I don't know. There's so many of you in our class this year.
And then there's this really big open box, and this is going to be for you to create a drawing of the person that you researched. Now, if you want to just do a portrait, like just a picture of that person, you can. But maybe what would be really cool is if you included something in the picture that let us know what they were famous for. So if you drew a picture of Jackie Robinson, maybe you draw a baseball and a baseball bat. If you were to do like Alexander Graham Bell, maybe you would draw a picture of a telephone or some other inventions that he created. If you were learning about Amelia Earhart, maybe you have like the ocean in the background and a plane. So think about how you can fill this entire space. And I have a rule, I don't know about you, but when I have students color, I have a 5-color rule. I want at least 5 colors, and I want you to try to not have any white space. So you're not gonna draw this teeny tiny little stick figure and then put a little sun in the corner and think you're done. This is 2nd grade, this is a published piece of writing, and I want it to be your absolute best. All right, why don't you talk about the writing part?
Yes, so all of the writing that you're going to be doing on this comes from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday's writing pages. So you're gonna need to go back to those. But before you start writing your final copy on these pages, you wanna make sure that you pre-read everything to make sure that everything's capitalized, that you have things spelled correctly, and you're not misspelling things on your final copy, right? So you might wanna have maybe mom or dad or somebody just take a look at it, make sure you spelled everything as good as you possibly could. But anyways, as we move over here, we're gonna make sure, like last time, the last few weeks, you're going in order. So you're writing your hook first, followed by your topic sentence, which you wrote on Monday. Then you're writing your Tuesday information, what the early stages of their life and what they're famous for. And finally, you're writing what you wrote on Wednesday, which is later in life and your conclusion. We also want to mention that you need to make sure that you're doing 2 finger space indenting before you write your hook. Whatever your first word ends up being, the first line is indented. And then you start every other line at the beginning of that black line. It's not going like, you're not writing, you know, where each word starts way over each time. It's nice and starting over here, nice and neat. You're using your best handwriting. There are spaces between your words. If your hand is starting to cramp because you wrote a lot, take a break, stretch your fingers for a minute. You don't want the beginning of your writing to be really nice, and then as you get to the next page, that it starts getting really sloppy, right? And you're also gonna notice there's only 4 lines on the front page. You wrote way more than 4 lines worth of writing, which is why we included an entire another page stapled. So once you get done filling in these lines, you're gonna turn the page and continue until you get to the end of your paragraph, which might be way down here, which might be here. It just kind of depends on how big you write and how neat you write and how much you wrote. Okay, so what am I forgetting that I haven't addressed yet?
I think just when you are done writing, you're not done. There is still a step that you need to do when you put that last period on your page or you write that last sentence, and that is to go back and to reread your writing, to proofread and edit. Proofread and edit means to look for your mistakes. Did you forget a capital letter? Did you forget a period? Did you spell the word the wrong, or did you write 2 ands in a row? When you read it to yourself, you normally find most of those mistakes. And a lot of times 2nd graders, unfortunately, they get a little forgetful and they want to be done and they want to put it in their packet and turn it in, but that's such an important step, so please don't skip it.
Yeah, And make sure, I know that this is not attached to your packet, it's a separate thing. It does need to be turned in on Friday because we really want to see this.
Mm-hmm.
We want to read about the biography that you wrote. We want to see your picture. We're excited to see how your writing is progressing. So make sure that it is included in your packet when you turn it in tomorrow. And I think that's it.
I think that's it. We're excited.
Have fun.